Around them, the wind blew burning air into their face, setting their clothes and belongings alight. Koji recalled his younger sister screaming for her mother and telling her that she couldn't breathe. They made it to the bridge, but so had thousands of other people who had no other way to escape. Koji's family clawed through the crowd. They only got more frantic as the flames surged closer. Koji and his younger sister got separated from their family in the crowd, and when the fire finally reached the bridge, they took their chances and leapt into the river below. Koji and his sister crawled out of the river hours later, when the fires had finally died down. The bridge had survived, but the charred remains of hundreds of people showed that not everyone had been that lucky. Koji and his sister searched fruitlessly for their parents and their siblings, but they never saw them again. All in all, the raid itself lasted for 2 hours and 40 minutes. The flames raged on for hours. Practically no one was recovered alive from the ashes, and they could only begin to guess how many people had been killed. In his report, the SBS estimated that 88,000 people had been killed and 40,000 injured. They concluded that, quote, probably more persons lost their lives by fire at Tokyo in a 6-hour period than at any time in the history of man. And the largest number of victims were the most vulnerable: women, children, and the elderly. Other estimates were higher. The Tokyo Fire Department estimated that 97,000 people were killed, with the Tokyo Police Department claiming 124,000. Most historians accept a number around 100,000, although some have pushed it higher based on population density calculations. For the survivors, there would be little closure. It was impossible to identify so many of the bodies, and people
Why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me? There it is. It's me. See? With the lips. Look at the eye on the right. See how it's slightly closed and slanted? Look at the AI eye on the right, closed and slanted. Yeah? Ooh. Get off it. It's not here now.
Organic type UAP UFOs that exist.
Hey,
Organic type
come here.
UAP UFOs that exist. What the?
Oh.
Organic type UAP UFOs that exist. What the is that? Right? This kind of looks similar to the thing that we saw in Kolkata, India, a little while ago from a distance. Okay, but this is zoomed in, or some strange activity. I mean, we've got some people saying that this is a hologram.
Thank you for coming by. We're also looking at the background. Oh, I see now everything's getting blurry. There we go. Great. That's my bird.
I saw the fucking drone again. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say that word because of everything that's been happening in the sky. Like, what? Okay, where do I begin? So, like, a couple months ago, I saw a bird that turned into a drone. It is what it is, okay? I'm on my way home, and I look up in the sky, and I see the drone again. It's one of those drones that, like, has the four legs or whatever, and it's, like, spinning on top. But then it's shifting from that into a bird. Drone, bird, drone, bird. This is me seeing through.
Seems to be being engaged by the military, and the rounds seem to be not really having much effect on what this object is. I mean, you can see something spinning. There's a light at the back. There's no noise associated with.
This is the eerie moment terrified Russians shoot at mysterious UFO helicopter darting over Moscow. The ominous drone was blasted by paranoid Russian air defenses as they suffered a separate drone strike early on Thursday. Sinister footage shows a strange rotating object spinning over the Moscow region. It has a red center and is surrounded by a spinning white circular shell. Some suspected the red and white spinning aircraft was one of Ukraine's new RZ-500 helicopter drones. However, the RZ-500 has a maximum range of 186 miles, which is not far enough to reach Moscow.
Yeah, so obviously, we're letting them shoot at us. They're going to realise that they can't shoot us down and that we can, at will, fly right over Putin's house and, buzz him, or if necessary, turn him into limestone, which is the next thing on our agenda. I mean, do you want to see all the current world leaders, the last lot, before we take over, turn to limestone? If you do, film this video up.
much effect on what this object is. I mean, you can see something spinning. There's a light at the back. There's no noise associated with it.
So the new Ukrainian helicopter drones have got a capacity of about 150 miles. So nothing in anyone's arsenal is capable of flying right over Moscow, going straight towards Putin's home, and being, showing up intentionally. We're not going stealth here, are we? We're doing flashing lights, and here we are. Come and shoot at us. Obviously, if it was a real, foreign adversary, as the US military experts will know watching this video, no foreign country is going to fly over Moscow to try and, assassinate Putin or something with a load of flashing LED lights. Yeah? So obviously, wakey, it's us.
Equally as weird. So I'm not sure what to think. Again, very strange. And the fact it's being engaged and having no effect, very strange once again.
It's not strange. It's what we would do if we were trying to demonstrate the creators are here.
UFO helicopter.
Oh, mate, we have a piece of footage, from what I can gather, coming out of Brazil of a strange orb-like object floating in the sky. This was filmed on an S23 Ultra. Look at the state of this object, bruv. Right? What is that about? Okay? When we're talking about potentially...
Okay, there's an eye in the middle. Yeah, go and read Ezekiel. Yeah, these are plasma. Plasma is a vehicle for consciousness.
Something huge is happening. We all know it. We can all feel it. Maybe not all of us. I think some people are still in denial. But I think I've got some answers. I'm making this video because I've been doing some research and it's shed a lot of light on what is going on currently, why and how this has come to be. After I found a link to what I thought was going on, and I saw that I was actually right in my suspicion and my theory, something really strange happened. And I don't know if anybody else has experienced this. I suspect a lot more of us are experiencing this right now, because a lot of people in my comments have mentioned something happening that's very similar. I felt as if I had entered some kind of stream of consciousness, or entered a frequency, or picked up some sort of station, is what it felt like. But I knew and understood things that I didn't know or understand previously. There was a huge amount of information that I am going to be trying to break down in a series of videos, but I just want to give you an overview. So here is what I think is happening. The orbs and the lights that we're seeing are plasma. But plasma is not what we have been led to believe it is. Plasma is a vehicle for consciousness. Technology has created a set of circumstances that have literally disrupted and affected space-time. What we experience as reality is changing as a result of what we've done. We are creatures of energy and vibration, and what we're about to find out and experience is the reality of that it's not just a theory, it's not just some sort of bizarre research, it's real. We are creatures of energy and vibration, and our energy and vibration has been affected in multiple ways by multiple things, which I'm going to talk about later. But what you need to understand is that your energy, your attention, your thoughts, what you focus on matters as a whole. Right now, we are in a unique position where our energy as a collective is greater than it has ever been right now. Various things have changed our frequency as humans to elevate what we can experience. If you imagine that our senses act as a kind of receiver to signals that we are picking up, what is happening, the vibrational frequency of the earth is changing. The Schumann resonance is changing. And as a result of all the extra energy, if you want to call it that, in the world, because of technology and because of the research that we've been doing, that has enabled a set of circumstances that mean that we can be at this point in time. Governments around the world know this. Governments have been lying to us. They have been literally building a society to lower our vibrational frequency, to lower our awareness to what they know, which is, if we utilize energy, if we focus our awareness, it matters. It makes a difference. Our collective focus can change everything. Research about plasma and consciousness proves that there is more to consciousness and our world than we have been led to believe. This is bigger, much bigger than we've been told, and I think we're about to find out how much that system is about to. I know this is a lot of information and it might sound overwhelming, but this is a good thing. This is an awakening. This is an opportunity for humans, collectively, as a human race of people, to change everything. Something huge is happening. We all know it. We can all feel it. Maybe not all of us. I think some people.
Everything is about to change. Okay? You're being watched by us. These are powerful angels, and your lives are hanging in the balance right now.
Right, guys, something slightly concerning. The Russian radio station, Doomsday radio station, has just started broadcasting again over the last couple of days. Listen to some of the first messages that have been broadcast on this radio station for quite some time now.
The Russian Doomsday radio station is active again. UVB-76, known as the Buzzer, is transmitting voice messages after a period of silence. In the last 24 hours, it broadcast 4 separate coded words: Neptune, Timus, Lissoplash, Nudobax. This station has operated since the 1970s, usually sending out a steady mechanical buzz. Voice transmissions like this are rare, and when they happen, they usually mark a shift in something critical. The exact purpose of UVB-76 has never been confirmed. It's long been believed to be linked to military operations or emergency command systems. During previous spikes in activity, major geopolitical developments followed. The timing of this recent burst has raised serious concern. No one has explained the meaning of the words. No agency has claimed responsibility. Right now, it's back on the air, active and sending signals. And based on...
So, guys, this is quite concerning. So, literally, does anyone have any idea what those code words could mean, potentially? If you've got any idea what those code words might be, let us know, guys. I'm thinking Neptune could be a reference to Poseidon, which is a worrying thing, which is their obvious nuclear-armed tsunami torpedo bomb.
Unleash the power! Unleash the power! Unleash the power! Unleash the I'm waking up, passion dust. I wipe my brow and I sweat my breath. I'm breathing in the chemicals. I'm breaking in, shaping up, checking out on prison bed.
1970s, created this machine, runs on argon gas, quartz crystals, and computer tech, obviously, and it can see into the future of every timeline in every reality. And you know what it saw? The spiritual awakening happening right now. That's why they've been pushing the negative stories, the negative events, because they know they can't stop it. The only way they can try and stop it is by lowering the collective vibration, the collective frequency. That's the only way. The majority have to be negative. But if the majority are positive, then we ascend. We
Oh, mate, we have a piece of footage, from what I can gather, coming out of Brazil of a strange orb-like object floating in the sky, and this was filmed on an S23 Ultra. Look at the state of this object, bruv. Right? What is that about, okay? When we're talking about potentially organic type UFOs that exist, what the is that? Right? This kind of looks similar to the thing that we saw in Kolkata, India, a little while ago from a distance, okay? But this is zoomed in of some strange activity. I mean, we've got some people saying that this is a hologram, or some people saying this is some sort of nest or some sort of rubbish in the sky, but this thing was floating for a while and then vanished off shortly after.
It's got a big eye in the middle of it, mate.
This man says these orbs are actually angels.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
If you live in America, run. If you live in Europe, UK included, just plan to go somewhere else. This is all I'm saying.
LeMay and the US military leadership knew that a strategic bombing campaign on Japanese cities would cripple their industry and demoralize the population, much as it had done in Germany. These bombing campaigns would inevitably target civilians, but this didn't faze LeMay or any of the US leadership. LeMay specifically planned for an incendiary bombing. About 90% of the structures in Tokyo were made of wood and other flammable materials. LeMay compared it to someone setting fire to a toy village when he was a kid. Quote, so the US Strategic Bombing Survey, SBS, analyzed Tokyo to determine that an area of northeastern Tokyo would be the most effective place to focus a bombing campaign. However, this was not an industrial center. The SBS estimated that almost 85% of the designated area was purely residential. LeMay recalled the grim calculations he made in his autobiography. Quote, no matter how you slice it, you're going to kill an awful lot of civilians. Thousands and thousands. For the people of Tokyo, the night was beyond a nightmare.
So, for some reason, all that time I was negotiating with, trying to negotiate a peaceful solution with the United States of America. I realised now the Holy Spirit had concealed from me things which, you know, her historical crimes. I remember the first time, many years ago, that I researched the civilian bombing of Japan. You know, I realised straight away, as a quote unquote Christian, that's an America ending event. No doubt about it. You know, they obviously must have made a decision at that moment that there was no God, because if there was, a God's going to end a country for just until you cannot get a more. We can discuss Japan, the history of Japan, how it was opened up by gunboat diplomacy, how it was intentionally prevented from developing, because obviously everyone needs their fair share of oil. But like I say, I realise now that the fulfilment of the prophecy, Revelation 18, Babylon, is not just religious Babylon. It is America and England, America and Britain as well. The Lion and the Eagle, and when God remembers her crimes, God remembers all, religious and political. So that's where we're at right now. I'm remembering because the end has come.
This was the issue faced by Major General Curtis LeMay, commander of the 21st Bomber Command in the Pacific. LeMay addressed this problem the same way the Allies had solved the issue in Europe, with the most American solution of all: bombs.